was a dark and stormy night. Your data was alone on an endpoint, and there... Okay, let's talk about how to protect your organization from shadow data. If you're finding yourself asking the question, what is shadow data? Then I'd suggest checking out the video here or the glossary term linked in the description. For everyone else, let's brighten it up in here. Okay, when you're trying to address shadow data in your organization, the first thing you need to do is embrace the suck. Shadow data is being created in your organization today, and it always will be to some extent. But here are some simple actions you can take to make it happen less and also reduce the risk posed by shadow data generally. The first thing you can do to prevent shadow data is the most obvious. Educate your users. Teaching people about the risks of storing data outside of sanctioned solutions is a vital first step to decreasing your shadow data problem. Alongside simply saying, "Don't do this," it's important to make clear to users why shadow data presents problems to the organization and to the user personally. It's also key to do this in words users can easily understand without resorting to deep technical jargon. That's the part that gets me in trouble all the time. Tactic 2 for reducing shadow data is device backup. When you've got a problem with people storing data in random places on endpoints, a great way to protect your organizational data is just to back up those endpoints. Basically, if you can't beat them, join them. Data backup takes what had been a single point of failure, the endpoint, and it automatically creates an additional copy of all important data on that device. There are numerous solutions on the market which will collect and securely store all your user-generated files from laptops and desktops. This way, when a laptop suddenly dies, it doesn't matter if the user remembered to upload the latest sales forecast document to the CRM. It's available for restore in just a couple seconds. Tactic number 3 on the shadow data reduction menu is data visibility. As my friend G.I. Joe used to say, knowing is half the battle. This is equally true for shadow data as it is with addressing the activities of Cobra. You need to know where your data is and where it's going. The best way to know that information is through implementing an insider risk management or data loss prevention solution, which can monitor, centralize, and alert on information about where your organizational data is moving. That way, your IT and security teams can know when important data moves outside of sanctioned platforms and reach out to the user responsible for a chat. Speaking of user chats, that's our last shadow data defense: user interviews and amnesty. Regardless of whether you have a robust data visibility solution in place, every time your IT or security team becomes aware of a user resorting to creating shadow data is an opportunity to improve through additional information. Basically, just talk to the user about what they're trying to do. A great way to conduct that interview is to calmly ask the user about the problem they were looking to solve by storing data outside of the prescribed solution. It's extremely unlikely that that user was subverting the process merely because they wanted to. Having this conversation will either open the door to being able to educate the user about the approved and secure method for accomplishing their business objective, or it will lead to a better understanding of the business needs for the user's role. Either path leads to a more positive outcome. If you can't implement broad-scale data visibility, a great way to gain insights into where shadow data exists in your organization is to ask your users en masse and offer amnesty from repercussions for any self-reported instances. This is effectively the same thing my college did to great success with stolen cutlery and lunch trays that needed to reappear at the end of every semester. This amnesty, combined with user interviews, will both make your organization more secure and it will increase positive relationships between your users and your IT and security teams. It's a win-win. And that is 4 examples for how you can address an unsolvable problem. If you're looking for a great backup solution which can help, check out the link in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one, and I'm going to go tell some different ghost stories. Cheers.